Hello everyone, I once again welcome you all to my YouTube channel English by Nisa. So in this video we are going to discuss direct and indirect speech, which is also called reported speech or narration. So when we report what a person has said, we do it in two ways. That one is direct speech and another is indirect speech. Now let's see what is this direct and indirect speech. So this narration is two types, direct speech and indirect speech. First of all, let's see direct speech. In the direct speech, when we give the exact words that the person has used, it is called direct speech. The spoken words are put within the inverted commas. As you can see here, in the direct speech, we report the words of a speaker by repeating the actual words of the speaker, which are indicated with the help of inverted commas. This is called reporting speech or direct speech, and it is also called narration. Now, in the indirect speech, when we convey the thoughts of the speaker without the actual words but with its full meaning, in act, it is called indirect speech or reported speech or also narration. We do not use inverted commas in indirect speech. For example, you can see here, he says, I am a writer. So, here in the direct speech, we gave the exact word that the person has used. I am a writer. So, we use this reported speech with the help of inverted commas. But in the indirect speech, we will remove this comma and this inverted commas. In place of that, we will write that. He said that he is a writer. So we convey the thoughts of the speaker without the actual word but with its full meaning enacted in the indirect speech. So now let's move further. There are many rules to learn direct and indirect speech. I will help you to learn these all rules within two videos. So now let's see the first one. So this sentence is in direct speech and it has two parts, one with the inverted commas and other without the inverted commas. Now you can see here the part without the inverted commas called reporting speech. You can see here this part without inverted commas called reporting speech, and the part of the sentence with the inverted commas called reported speech. So these two words you should remember because we are going to use these words only in the further exercises. So the first one, he, which is called the reporter, because we are reporting the word what the reporter said. So this is called reporter subject, and this reporting verb, the first verb is called a reporting verb in the reporting speech, and this is the reporting object. Now this after inverted commas, this verb is called reporting verb. This is reported verb and this will be reporting verb. Based on this reported verb, we will change our indirect speech. Like if it is in present, we'll change to past, and it is in past continuous, we'll change to some else. We'll see all the rules in detail. So let's start. First, let's see the features of the direct speech. So the exact word of the speaker are enclosed within the inverted commas in direct speech. So whatever actual words we are saying of the speaker, that will be enclosed in the inverted commas. Here in this space, we will write the direct whatever speaker's words are there. Then the speaker is mentioned, we'll mention the speaker like he, she, or if name is there, we will mention that name. Then the first word of the direct speech begins with the capital letter. The direct speech after inverted commas, we should use the capital letter. Then a comma is used after the introductory or reporting verb, and this before the inverted commas, whatever sentence is there, we should he said comma, so we should write comma after the reporting verb. Like say, said, tell, and told. After this, we should add the comma to separate it from the second part of the sentence. The second part is nothing but this inverted comma. Next, sometime the reporting verb and the speaker's name is placed after the exact word of the spoken. Like before, we were saying that first this without inverted commas part was there, then inverted commas part. But sometime the order can be changed. Like I will come tomorrow, said Madhuri. We can write this inverted commas part first, this reported part. Then we can write reporting part, said Madhuri. But usually we follow this order, first this without reported part, then this one inverted commas part. Features of indirect speech, now let's see this. So in the indirect speech, no inverted commas are used. In the indirect speech, we used inverted commas in direct speech, but here no inverted commas, no punctuation marks. The comma is not used after the reporting verb like say, said, told, tell. After that, we should not use comma, but that we use in place of that comma, in inverted commas, we use that, is used it in place. A comma is not used to separate the indirect speech from the rest of the sentence. All the punctuation marks like quotation mark, exclamation mark, colon, semicolon, and question mark, we should remove all the mark in the indirect speech. So this will all remove in indirect speech except commas or a full stop at the end. Then next, a conjunction may be used to join the indirect speech with the rest of the sentences. Then the tense of the pronouns and denoting nearness of time and position are changed. We'll see these all rules in detail one by one. Now let's see how many rules are there to change the direct speech into indirect speech. There are only two rules, general rules and special rules. This general rule we apply to all the sentences, like we have five types of sentences. So those five types of sentences we apply these general rules, and special rules we apply to different sentences. Means if you want to convert your direct speech to indirect speech, you need to follow these rules. So now let's see first of all the types of sentences. So there are five types of sentences: declarative sentence, interrogative, imperative, optative, and exclamatory sentences. So before seeing the sentences, types of sentences, let's see what is a sentence. So when we communicate with each other, we express our thoughts and ideas through the words that together make a complete sense. So what is a sentence? Sentence is nothing but it is a group of words that makes a complete sense. It contains a verb and a subject. For example, you can see here this is a new school. Now this which is a subject is it a verb. So this is a new school, it is the object. She is my mother. She is a subject, is a verb, my mother is the object. I is a subject, like is a verb, brain is the object. So every sentence should contain subject plus verb plus object, then only your sentence is complete. Without the verb you cannot construct any single sentence. So sentence is a group of words that makes complete sense. It is start with a capital letter and end with a full stop if it is state a fact. Now let's see the types of sentences. So there are five types of sentences: assertive, and it is also called declarative sentences, which have affirmative and negative sentences. We'll see each one in detail. Interrogative, WH question, auxiliary questions, and rhetorical questions. Imperative, we have command, request, order, and suggestion in imperative sentences. In optative sentences, we have both positive and negative, where we find desire, wish, curse, blessings, and pray with these type of sentences. And exclamatory sentences, we have emotional sentences and the sentences which has feeling, and that start with what and how. Now let's see this each sentence in detail. Now let's see the first type of sentence, that is declarative sentence. Is it also called assertive sentences. Now what is declarative sentence? When a sentence that declares or states something is called declarative state. So here declarative sentences are two types. This we can see here, positive or negative, and it also end with a full stop and start with a capital letter. As you can see here, he is my father, she can't dance. So this one is a positive sentence and this one is a negative sentence. So in declarative and assertive we have both type of sentence, positive and negative. Now let's see the next one, imperative sentences. Now what are imperative sentences? When the sentences that expresses a command, request, advice, order or suggestion, these sentences are called imperative sentences. So here an imperative sentence ends with a full stop. Here this sentence is also end with full stop. Now let's see the example of these imperative sentences. So when we want to express a command, order, so we use these type of words. That sentence is start with the verb. So, like, come here, bring the box. So, directly we are starting a sentence with the verb. So, these type of sentences are called imperative sentences. Now, here to make a request, if you want to make a request, so that type of sentence are called imperative sentence only. So, here how you will make request, you will use the word please. Please help me to clean the room. Please tell me what happened. So, if you find the your sentence starting with could you or please, so these type of sentences are imperative sentences. Now, to give advice, never lose your patience. Luck comes from hard work. So, if you find these advices, that type of sentence is also called imperative sentence. Why I am teaching you this all the tenses is because your narration is depend on this. We are learning the special rules, so that special rules are based on this sentences only. This type of sentences. So, if you learn this all types of sentences, so easily you can change your direct speech to indirect speech. Now, next one, to give suggestion. Let's play football. Let's talk. Take a walk. So these all are where you are giving suggestion, advice, request in command or order. So these are all called the imperative sentences. Now let's see the interrogative sentences. So here also this sentence asks a question. It's called interrogative sentences. So an interrogative sentence ends with a question mark, and it will also start with a capital letter and end with a question mark. For example, you can see here, what are you doing? Question mark. Which fruit do you like? Because we are asking question here, that's why we are adding question mark. Now, these interrogative sentences can be WH questions and begin with the words like when, where, why, and what, who. These are WH questions. For example, you can see here, who came to pick you up? And how do you go to college? These are WH question where we need to give whole answer. Do you go to college? I go to college by bus. Now let's see the interrogative sentences which contain auxiliary question, like where you need to give only yes or no answer to your questions. For example, you can see here an interrogative sentence can be answer yes or no when it begins with the auxiliary verb. Auxiliary verb are nothing but like be form, where we have is, am, are, was, were, and do, does, did, have, has, had, and also models like may, might, can, could, will, would, all models. So if your sentence start with a verb, so where you need to give only yes or no answer. After yes or no, you can add your further answer, further information, but if you give yes or no only, that will give your whole means, that complete your answer. So for example, is your flight cancelled? Yes, you can simply say yes. If you want to say further, you can add comma after yes. Yes, my flight has cancelled. Are you tired? No, I am not tired. If you want to give this, you can give. Otherwise, if you say no, it will enough. It will give a complete sense. So this is also called interrogative sentences, which is start with the auxiliary question, where you have to only answer in yes or no. Now, interrogative sentences, we have rhetorical question also, for which no answer is expected. Means for these question, no answer is there. For example, is rain wet? Yes, obviously rain is wet. Can fish swim? Yes, obviously fish swim. So there no answer for these type of question. Who hates money? Nobody. Who cares? And are you crazy? So these type of questions are called rhetorical question, for which no answer is expected. Now, next we have optative sentences. Optative sentences are nothing but these sentences expresses the curse, the desire, and praise and keen wishes. So these type of sentences are called optative sentences. This sentence also end with a full stop and start with a capital letter. And this optative also we have both positive and negative sentences. For example, you can see here, may you achieve your goal. It is a positive sentence. When you are giving blessing or wishing to someone, may the king punish him. Now you can see it is a negative sense. So in optative sentence also we have curse, desire, and praise, and our keen wishes. So whenever you find these type of words in a sentence, that are optative sentences. Now students, let's see the last type of sentence, that is exclamatory sentences. So these sentences that expresses strong feelings or emotions are called exclamatory sentences. They end with the exclamation mark. If you find exclamation mark at the end of the sentence, then it is the exclamatory sentence. It usually begin with the what or how. For example, you can see here, what a beautiful dress it is. You will find the exclamation mark at the end. How melodiously she sings. So these type of sentences are called exclamatory sentences. To learn this, so these five types of the sentences are there. You should learn these all types of sentences.